Shalom, 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 shalom. Giving honor and praise. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. Shalom, shalom. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. Let us start in prayer. Oshienu malheinu Eloheinu zureinu. Shemana tefilotenu. Alnati lanu. Kwalala. Wa'aha tikwaknenu. Rafana kulanu kiananu zariki moka. The Hirpadet Amka Yisrael. Hallelujah. Amen. Brothers and sisters, giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. This is a continuation from the lesson, but we're stepping into a new aspect, brothers and sisters. All right, for those following along, the HIF'IL present tense. Now, there are certain rules that I wrote down, and there will be certain things that I will say concerning this particular aspect, brothers and sisters. And let's look. Regarding the HIF'IL, it is the causative of the qual. All right? Brothers and sisters, the HIF'IL is the causative of the qual. For instance, let's take, for instance, the word to pull, P-U-L-L. In Hebrew is the word mashak, mem, shin, kaf, sofi. Now, in the root form of that, in the HIF'IL stem, mashak becomes himshik. Himshik in root means to continue. So when you're continuing something, you're causing it to be pulled. You're causing it to be lengthened. All right? So this is something we want to point out for edification purposes. All right? Causative of the qual. The past tense takes the hey prefix. So, in a word like mashak, all right, you get himshik. That he sound that you hear in the beginning of that, that's the prefix. And it's past tense. And as we know, the past tense is the root of something because your past is your roots, all right? The past tense takes the hey prefix concerning that he filled the next part. The present tense takes a mem prefix. The present tense takes a mem prefix. All right? So, in a word like mashak, the present tense is mom sheik. I need mom sheik. I am continuing. All right? Within the HIF'IL, it contains a command form as well as a bakalam. If you remember that the pual, as we went over in the past two lessons, doesn't have a command and a bakalam. All right? One of the things to point out again, or should I say in the beginning of the new classes that we're doing here, in the HIF'IL stem, there's a yod between the second and third root letters. All right? So, this yod between the second and third root letters, brothers and sisters, shows itself in its present tense, past tense, and future tense. This is not going to be the lengthiest lesson, but this is something we just want to show a pattern of once it comes down into the Hebrew regarding the HIF'IL present tense. Now, as in the other lessons, I set the board up already written out, and we'll put the vowels in and move on for that particular point. Now, I want to state that Ah is a vowel. So when there may be people who may say Hebrew has no vowels, yet one is saying ah, that is a vowel. There are some saying that Hebrew has no vowels and are saying I. Yet even in English, I is a vowel. All right? You cannot, brothers and sisters, have a language without vowels. All right? I must emphasize, and I say this in no disrespect, logic supersedes scholarship in many cases. Logic supersedes scholarship in many cases because scholar simply, at the end of the day, means students. But when you have logic along with that intelligence to be diligent as a scholar, you realize that no language, brothers and sisters, is that which does not have any vowels because a vowel is simply a written sound. It's a sound that is written. All right? That's all a vowel is. A vowel is simply a written sound. That's it. It's not that deep. All right? So when many people already are learning Hebrew for the aspect of reading it and then speaking, as opposed to one born speaking Hebrew, then reading. All right? That's where the distinction comes into play. Because even if we take most of us knowing English from birth, we didn't know how to read it before we started speaking it. So because we are learning Hebrew, no offense intended, backward, then a child will learn it from birth. Then some may say, okay, well, I don't see no vowels, so how can it be vowels? But at the same token, a 3 and a 4-year-old can sit there and speak a language that he or she has not seen yet. So this is something we want to point out for edification purposes. So let's look at this right here. Shin bet resh, shin bet resh, shin bet resh, shin bet resh. Looking at this right here, the yod between the second and third root letters. Shin bet resh is the root. A yod between the bet and the resh. A yod between the bet and the resh. A yod between the bet and the resh. And a yod between the bet and the resh. So, mashbir is what we're looking at right here. Oh, the definition of this emphatically means to supply. All right? Ani mashbir means I am supplying. Now, if the HIF'IL is, brother and sister, the causative of the qual form of shabar means to break. So when you're breaking something, when you causes something to be broken, you are supplying. In other words, extending, you may say. Because by having, let's say, one piece and you break it under the aspect of the qual stem, you're causing it to be broken. That means you're supplying. You're divvying it out. This shows you the Hebrew thought about, quote unquote, sharing is caring, if you will. All right? So let's look at this. Mashbir. Mashbir. We want to say masculine, singular. Ani. As well as ata. Ani mashbir. I am supplying. Ata mashbir. You are supplying. Okay? Let's look at this next one here. Mashbira. We want to say FS, feminine singular. Ani at. At mashbira. Achoti. My sister, you are supplying. A female would say, Ani mashbira. I am supplying. And we want to emphasize yet again, brothers and sisters, that you have what? The quamats and the hay. Quamats and the hay. As stated over 90% as a suffix showing it to be feminine. All right? Look at this next one here. Mashbirin. Anaknu. Atem. Hain. Hain mashbirin. They are supplying. Hem mashbirim han yarim. They are supplying the paper. Atem mashbirim hadbarim. You are supplying the things. Anaknu mashbirim hamazon. We are supplying the food. So here we see what? MP, masculine plural. All right? Look at this one here. Follow along. Feminine plural. Mashbirot. All right? Aten mashbirot. You all are supplying. Aten mashbirot hamazon. You are supplying the food. Aten mashbirot ha'akila. Aten mashbirot hamishte. Ooh, don't want to go there. Mishte means strong drink. But I just wanted to throw that out there. All right? Hen mashbirot. They are supplying. Hen mashbirot hatzlachot. Yeah, that's it. Zalacha means plate. Zalachot means plates. All right? Ani mashbir hamazon. I am supplying the food. Hen mashbirot hatzlachot. They are supplying the plates. Atem mashberim hakafot. You are supplying the spoons. At mashbira hamazlagot. You are supplying the forks. So I just wanted to throw that out there about how such this word right here can be used in the aspect of a sentence. All right? Now I want to emphasize, if you've been following along, right? The present tense takes a mem as the prefix. Prefix, 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 prefix. Mashbir, mashbirah, mashbirin, mashbirot. All right? Ani mashbir at mashbirah. Anatnu mashbirin. Hain mashbirot. Ani mashbir hakita. I am supplying the class. So let's understand, brothers and sisters, how this word right here being hashbir in root, all right? How does that work to meaning supply? If shabar means to break in a qual stem, and we're saying that this stem here, the HIF'IL, is the causative of the qual one more time. Because when you break something, you're actually supplying it. I, in this class, broke it down from this. I broke it down to that. I broke it down to this and broke it down to that. So I'm supplying the class by it being broken down. This is how Hebrew works in that particular regard. All right. Let's look, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes, if we will, over here. Okay. For reasoning purposes. All right. You have the word here, looking at it, if it was qual stem, shabar, PL stem, shibir, pual stem, shubar. So we're going to, since we're saying that the HIF'IL is the causative of the qual. We're going to say, brothers and sisters, that this means break. And this means supply. Remember, brothers and sisters, what we went over here is the present tense. What we're doing right here is this. I want to erase that. All right. Hashber. This right here is an arrow. Hashber, the command form. Meaning what? Supply. The command form. Remember, the pual doesn't have a command form. However, nonetheless, the HIF'IL does. Hashber. So if you were speaking to one male, regardless of his age, Hashber Hamazon, supply the food. Hashber Hamazon, supply the food. That's what you're saying in that particular regard. Now let's look at this right here where the pen is. You have the Yod, the Shin, the Bet, the Resh. This here being an arrow. So if this was under the Qual stem, we'll say what? Yishbor. Under the Piel stem, you will say Yishaber. Under the Pual stem, Yeshubar. But we're going to say under the Qual stem, he or heal he will heal, break. Now, this right here, as stated, is the arrow. And this right here is what? Yashbir means heal, supply. This right here is stated as just an arrow. Yashbir means he will or he'll supply. All right? Yashbir Hamazon, he will supply the food. Yashbir Hatzlachot, he will supply the plates. Yashbir Hakita, he will supply the class. All right? So let's go over some last things concerning this subject here. Brothers and sisters, giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the creator and the maker of heaven and earth. If you notice, going back here to the present tense, the mem with a patak. Mem patak, mem patak, mem patak. The patak shows inside of the HIF'IL stem with the mem. All right? Unless you're dealing with, let's say, not to get too advanced, a peyod form, the word yarad in Hebrew is the qual stem meaning to descend. But if you put that word yarad in the HIF'IL stem, present tense is morid. Morid, because the yod in the PL stem, pardon me, the yod in the HIF'IL stem, being a peyod verb, it drops off and a vowel comes in this place, but we're not going there just yet. But I just wanted to show inside of the regular shilamim, the regular verb, such as shabar, katab, so forth and so on, you will see the mem with a aspect of what? Patak, patak. Remember, brothers and sisters, the yod between the second and third root letters. Between the second and the third root letter. Between the second and the third root letter. All right? So this is just something we want to point out, brothers and sisters, for edification purposes. All right? So let's erase this and take some more notes concerning this subject. All right? All right, let's look at this, brothers and sisters. All right, I'm going to number this 1, 2, 3 sentences. All right, this word here you see on the bottom is part of the sentence. Remembering that Hebrew goes from right to left, right? So let's look at this. You got the aleph, the ket, and the yod. All right. Achi. How we know it's aki and not achai is because of this word right here. All right. Yashbir, not yashbiru. This is masculine singular future tense. All right. So therefore it's aki, meaning my brother, and not achai, meaning my brothers. Aki. Yashbir. Homa. My brother, he will supply a wall. My brother, he will supply a wall. My brother, Ach means brother. Achi, my brother. This yod serves as a prefix. All right? If we remember that pattern that we went over before, you will see there's no wow here. So therefore, it's not a future tense third person masculine plural. When you just see it as that, no wow as the suffix, it's just therefore singular. All right? Achi yashbir koma. Koma means wool. All right? It's the word used in the book of Joshua when it says the walls came tumbling down. You see the word koma in that part. All right? Achi yashbir koma. All right? Koma tishubar me achi. Let's explain this, what we just did. Koma. Koma, a wall. Tishubar. Sheen bet resh. Sheen bet resh. All right? Sheen bet resh. Sheen bet resh. Let's emphasize. See this kwamat here? Followed by the hey? It's automatically by 90% better chance feminine. But this one happens to fall under it being feminine. So therefore, when you show the verb connected to it, when you conjugate it, you have to sit there and make the verb in the aspect of feminine. And this is why we have our friend here, the letter tau. Homa, tishubar. What does tishubar mean? Brothers and sisters, remember we went over that before in the lesson in honor to More Mishael, Shalom Alayu. All right? Koma tishubar means what? A wall will be shattered. Remember, pu'al, brothers and sisters, is the passive of the PL. The PL is the intensification of the qual. And the HIF'IL is the causative of the qual. So looking at that simple understanding with that, brothers and sisters, we have what? Koma, a wall, tishubar. Remember, the letter tau is a feminine letter, right? Koma, tishubar. Not koma yeshubar, but koma tishubar. Me'achi. Aleph, ket, yod. Aleph, ket, yod. This mem serves as the prefix. Me'achi means from my brother or of my brother. See the mem right there? With the aspect of the zere, me, achi, from my brother. Homa tishubar me'achi. A wall will be shattered from my brother. Aki yashbir koma. My brother will supply a wall. Koma tishubar me'aki. A wall will be shattered by my brother, from my brother, of my brother. All right? Now, look at this third and last sentence here in this particular regard. Hopefully, these classes continue. Most High bless. I'm open to constructive criticism as stated. All right? This here is the letter bet. Right? We went over this word last time. Let's look at it. Ba'aya, meaning a problem. Ba'aya, and what's this right here? From the studies, can anybody figure out, seeing that this is the word ba'aya is a feminine singular word. So you have what? The kwamat and the hey. So you don't see no vowels here, but you see the hey. So you can, knowing context clues and how it's flowing, could this have a aspect of a kwamat also? Because it does. So let's look at it with just this part right here. Knowing, brothers and sisters, now that this hey serves as what? The suffix. Ah is what you there have. Can we figure out what this word is? I'll give you a hint. It's a verb. Okay? It's the second of the 7 stems, the HIF'IL. We know that because we see the noon serving as a prefix. Now, so if we see the noon as a prefix and the hey here as a suffix, we are left with the mem, the zadeh, and the aleph. Meaning what? Mazah means what? To find. F-I-N-D. So nimza, being the aspect, brothers and sisters, the nif'al, being the passive of the qual. If find is the qual, nimza is to be found. Nimza, ba'aya. Ba'aya, nim, za'ah. Not ba'aya, nimza, and leaving it off with the aleph at the end, because this has a kwamat in a hey. So by default, when you show its conjugation with a verb, it has to have it in agreement with the gender. All right? The kwamat in the hey. Ba'aya names the ah. And what's this word here? Same word. Ba'aya. Ba'aya names the ah. Ba'aya shubra. All right? Okay? Kwamat's hey. Kwamat's hey. Kwamat's hey. Kwamat's hey. That's the third sentence there, as you see. All right? For edification purposes. Ba'aya names Za'ah. Ba'aya shubra. A problem was found. A problem was shattered. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High. That's what we're hoping and praying for. To have our problem shattered. All right? Akit yashbir koma. My brother, he will supply a wall. Koma teshubar me'aki. A wall will be shattered from or of my brother. Ba'aya, a problem, named Za'ah. Ba'aya named Za'ah, a problem was found. Ba'aya shubra. Remember shubra from last time? When we did the aspect in lesson number 44? If you don't remember, go back. It was there. All right? Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the creator and the maker of heaven and earth. All right? kashuput@gmail.com. Giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. That's my email for those who care to contact me. All right. Also have books available: Egypt Talk and Writing on Amazon, Deuteronomy 28:15-68, The Condition of the Blacks, as well as Old Testament Israelites Respond to Messianic Israelites. All right. So this concludes the lesson in that particular regard. Shalom Lakim.